everybody, welcome back to Success with Teresa. If you're trying to grow a business, one of the biggest questions that you probably have is where do I actually find people to contact? Because let's be real, you can have the best product, the best service, and the prettiest website in the world. But if nobody knows you exist, you're not making any money. So today I'm going to show you how to use Apollo.io to find potential business leads. And the great thing is you can actually start using Apollo for free. So let's get into it. First, what exactly is Apollo? Apollo is a business to business sales and lead generation platform. Basically, it helps you find businesses and professionals who may fit the type of customer that you're looking for. Instead of spending hours searching Google, going through LinkedIn profiles, or visiting company websites and trying to figure out who you should contact, Apollo puts a huge searchable business database in one place. You can search for people based on things like their job title, where they're located, the industry that they work in, their level of seniority, company size, and much more. And that's where things get interesting because I don't want just any leads. I want the right leads. So let me show you what I mean. The first thing that you need to know is don't just search for everybody. Before you touch these filters, ask yourself, who is my ideal customer? Okay, so I'm inside Apollo now, and this is where we're going to start building our lead list. Let's say, for example, I sell a service to small business owners. I don't need a list of 50,000 random people. I might want business owners, founders, CEOs, or other decision makers. So I'm going to start narrowing down my search. So step one is to choose the right job title. The first filter I'm going to use is job title. This is extremely important, okay? If I'm selling something that requires a business owner to make the decision, why would I spend my time contacting an entry level employee who can't make that decision? Instead, I might search owner, founder, CEO, president, director, or whatever job title makes sense for the product or service that I'm promoting, and watch what happens. As I add filters, my list starts getting smaller. That's good. Remember, we're not trying to get the biggest list. We're trying to get the most relevant list. Now, step two is to choose your location. Let's narrow things down by the location here. Maybe I only want businesses in the United States, or maybe I want businesses in a particular state. You can get much more specific depending on your business. For example, if you're selling a local service, you don't necessarily need leads from across the entire country. You might only want people in your state or your city. So I'm going to select my location. And now our list becomes even more targeted. Now, step three is to choose an industry. So this is where Apollo can become, now this is where Apollo can become really powerful. Maybe you're looking for real estate companies, marketing agencies, insurance agencies, technology companies, restaurants, healthcare, construction, or another type of business. Instead of trying to market to everybody, choose the industries that are most likely to need what you're offering. Now, step four is the company size. Here's another filter I really like, company size. So let's say that you're selling a service that costs $500 a month. A company who a company with 2 employees might have a completely different budget than a company with 200 employees. So you can narrow your search based on the size of the company you're trying to reach. This is why I keep saying, don't just collect leads, qualify your leads. Step five, look for verified contact information. Now let's talk about something very important, contact information. Apollo can provide business contact information for prospects, including business email addresses and, when available, phone information. When I'm building a list for email outreach, I want to pay attention to email status, okay? If Apollo identifies an email as verified, that's generally the type of contact information I prioritize because sending emails to bad addresses doesn't help anybody. You want quality over quantity. And then save your leads. Once you've narrowed everything down, don't just start randomly contacting people, organize them. Apollo allows you to save prospects into lists. For example, I could create a list called small business owners, marketing agencies, real estate leads, Shopify store owners, or whatever makes sense for my campaign. Now, when I come back later, I know exactly who these people are and why I saved them. And don't send the same message to everybody. Now, here's where a lot of people mess this up. They find 1,000 email addresses and immediately send everybody, "Hello, sir or madam. I would like to introduce my amazing opportunity." Delete. Don't do that. Your outreach should actually make sense for the person receiving it. Look at their company, their position, their industry, and the problem your product or service solves. And then make your message relevant. For example, instead of saying, "Would you like to buy my marketing service?" you could say something like, "Hi, Sarah. I came across your company while researching independent real estate agencies in Atlanta. I noticed that you specialize in residential properties, and I wanted to reach out because," see the difference? One sounds like a spam, and the other sounds like you actually know who you're contacting. Now, you might be wondering, Teresa, how much will this cost me? Apollo does offer a free plan. The free version has limits, so you're not going to get unlimited access to everything. But if you're just learning how to generate leads, start with free. Learn the platform first, learn how the filters work, and figure out who your ideal customer is. And most importantly, see whether those leads actually help your business grow. And then you can decide whether upgrading makes sense. Now, before we finish, I want you to remember this. Apollo is a tool. It is not a magic money button. Finding 10,000 leads doesn't mean that you suddenly have 10,000 customers. Your offer still matters. Your messaging matters, and your follow-up matters. And the quality of your targeting matters. I'd rather have 100 highly targeted prospects than 10,000 random email addresses every single time. So that's how you can start using Apollo.io to generate leads. First, define your ideal customer. Then use filters like job title, the location, industry, company size, and other criteria to narrow your audience. Find the right decision makers, save them into organized lists, and then create personalized outreach based on what those people actually need. That's the difference between simply collecting email addresses and actually building a lead generation system. If you'd like me to do another video showing you exactly how I would turn an Apollo lead list into an email outreach campaign, let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe to Success with Teresa, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Because on this channel, we're talking about AI tools, software, online business, affiliate marketing, lead generation, and practical ways to use technology to grow your income. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.